Again, welcome back to the third edition of Catch the Vibe Outdoors. I am your host, Justin Blanchard, and as a reminder, if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can usually find that little subscribe window or that little red button just on the bottom left-hand side of the viewer in YouTube. And be sure to subscribe because with these weekly broadcasts of Catch the Vibe Outdoors, we will be giving away quite a few gifts or packages. And in order to have an opportunity to participate, to receive a prize, you're going to have to watch the videos. And the other thing, too, is you're going to want to come into Vibrations Tackle and go onto our blog page. That's interaction with our blog page. And for example, our last episode, in episode 2, we asked you to comment and post about the pelagic fish. Got a couple of posts up. But that's going to, we got a little prize here that we're going to be giving away. Anybody who's engaging into our blogs is going to have an opportunity to, well, this is going to be our first little giveaway here. It's got a couple, handful of half-ounce baits, some Tommy Harris. I'll get a little bit better view here. Some Tommy Harris. These are all UV custom, UV imaged. We got a new 3/8 ounce with this Junior Jigtail. This is our Ice Series. Fantastic plastic product here, but this will be given away in a couple weeks. Geez, what a nice weekend for Mother's Day. Beautiful weather Saturday. I had an opportunity to get together with family and friends. Beautiful. We put the pier in. Couldn't ask for a better morning. Actually went out fishing a little bit in the morning. Had some relatives come in from out of town. Here's a shout out to my Uncle Mike Weber. Great guy. The guy taught me how to skate when I was 3 years old and was my hockey coach for quite a few years. Taught me how to play hockey. Taught me how to take the body and then worry about the puck later on. So that one's for you there, Uncle Mike. At any rate, Sunday, beautiful day. We took a little walk in the woods, and just a little reminder, took a family walk, and I just happened to, for whatever reason, scratch my back and felt a little bump. And I've been hearing about these ticks that have been so bad this year, and I can definitely relate because I had a little tick on the back of my, just on the inside of my shirt. But be sure to check yourselves for ticks if you're out in the woods and whatnot. As far as Vibrations Tackle updates, there's nothing super new this week other than we spent a lot of time on setting up the broadcast. Ran into a few computer issues trying to upload and edit the last episode 2. Had to find some space, and I had to clear some hard drive space and trying to figure out what files I could transfer over and which ones I had to save. A little bit of a pain, but we got it figured out. Always something. Always something with this with the tackle business. But at any rate, we actually do have some new news. I almost forgot. We're working on designing 4 new color patterns for our musky size 4-ounce that we would like to release starting this summer. We're working on about a dozen patterns, so those, look for those coming out probably towards the end of June, July-ish, that time period. Once again, our sweepstakes, we are running a sweepstakes for our dealers here. You're going to find these, any of the dealers that carry our product. We have a handful of our dealers that are participating. You'll see this ballot box. And the deal is all you have to do is sign up an entry fee, or an entry paper. There is no purchase necessary. It's an unlimited amount of entries, just one a day, and drop it in the box. In December, we're going to pick a name, and we're going to be giving away $500 worth of tackle. And as a reminder, St. Croix Rod Company has also decided to hop on board with us, and they would also like to give away one of them new Avid X rods, which I personally have been using this season, and very happy with the rod. Great product. But at any rate, we will have it posted up onto our Facebook. What we're going to do is take a picture of the actual prize package, and we will have that linked back to our website. And on that link, we will have the prize package, pictured at the top of the page, along with the dealers that are participating. So that way you know which, maybe beforehand, if you got to stop out at a tackle shop, maybe, you might look, geez, why don't we just go to, Dick Smith's, because they're running this. We got to get some minnows, so hey, let's stop by and drop an entry and have an opportunity to win a bunch of tackle. So, at any rate, that covers that pretty much. We also, our product of the month, our color of the month is a Grape Tootsie. If you haven't seen it on episode 2, I have posted it right onto our blog page, along with our home page on our website. We have just kind of a generic photo of the new color. It's kind of on a production pad, if you will, but we will be getting graphics up soon with that new color. The Teddy Cats, as a reminder, are now back in stock. You can find them at Captain Hook's, along with on our website. Captain Hook's does have exclusivity to the Teddy Cat. Ted Peck's been using it. He's been catching some fish, and I find those at Captain Hook's in Genoa. This week's Echotail Pointer of the week, we are going to talk about holes and hole placements. It's a very common question on our product line. Our blade bait has many holes. You know what? This might be a little easier for you to see. Got 5 different hole placements, and a common question that we get routinely is, geez, what do the different holes do? What hole do I start with? How do I? There's a lot of holes. Very, very good question. That's why we're covering it this week in this week's episode. I think that's an important piece of information that everybody that owns an Echotail or would like to own an Echotail should have. So, in general, there's a lot of catch-22s here. We're going to go over different connection points for both casting, jigging, and trolling. There's a lot of catch-22s. I'm going to try to make this not to be confusing. So I'm going to try to explain this in the simplest terms possible for you. So let's just go in general. There's 5 different holes on the Echotail, and in general, the back hole, when you lift up on the back hole, it's going to create more vibration. The nose is going to tip down, and you're going to get more vibration, versus the front hole. If you connect your snap, every single Echotail comes with one of these snaps. We advise you to tie your line to the snap and connect your snap to the Echotail, never tie direct. The front hole is going to have a little less vibration, a little more speed, or snap is going to be required to get it to function. The vibration is a little tighter. It doesn't have quite the thump that the back hole does, but it has a little bit different action, and we're going to cover that. But in general, I always tell people, if you've never used it before, a great hole to start out with. In fact, we even pre-connect the product as they're being assembled, which we recommend everybody just to start out in the center hole. That gives you a good neutral feel for how the bait feels with your equipment. Play around with it, learn how the bait feels with your equipment, and adjust from there. So, first off, jigging, hole selections. If you want more vibration, like I had said, a much heavier, wider thump, connect to that back hole. Where would you want to use this? Well, one situation that I can think of, maybe you're fishing deeper water. You got to think the further that a bait gets away from you, the less sensitivity you're going to have. So by connecting your snap into the back hole, this will allow you to feel the bait vibrating at longer distances away from you. So the guys that are, or ladies that are jigging in, 100 to 200 feet of water for lake trout, this might be an option for you. Now, aggressively snap jigging on the front hole, this is something that we started playing around with a little more the last couple seasons, mostly through the ice, because what we found, we built an Echo tank. It's a demo tank that we use for our shows, so we learned a little bit ourselves about the action of the lure. But the front hole is actually going to create a darting motion. So when you snap up on it aggressively, the bait's going to shoot off whatever which way that head is facing. It's going to shoot off in that direction. So a huge advantage to ice anglers. Another situation that I've started using this with, if I want to cover water really quickly, whether I'm using the trolling motor or a faster drift, I like to use that front hole, because not only am I going to get different action, it's covering more water, but since it also doesn't have as much vibration, it's a little easier on the wrists, so it doesn't burn my wrist or my arm out quite as quickly as it would on the back hole using that aggressive technique. As far as, and by the way, I'm going to post a video. I've got a really good video that sort of explains the different holes and darting actions within our Echo tank that we shot at a show a couple years back. So I'm going to post the link on our blog page at vibrationstackle.com. As far as casting, so many different techniques to use for casting. You can cast it over deep water or semi-deep water, let it hit the bottom, and just yo-yo it back to the boat, just kind of popping, reeling down, popping, reeling down. You can cast it, over weed beds and burn it back over the tops of weeds. But in general, a lot of people have asked me, well, are the different holes for different depths? Yes, they are. Excuse me one second. I have the allergies. That's one good sign of the fishing seasons here is because my lake allergies have kicked up. But as far as casting and depths, the holes do have different depths, and this is where that catch-22 comes in. If I want to keep the lure low and slow and maintain the vibration at a slower speed, I'm going to connect my snap to the back hole, because the back hole tips that nose more forward, so you got more weight that allows for a wider vibration to occur at slower speeds. So you can do that. On the same note, if you cast out and you position your rod tip in an upward position and you cast and you reel at a moderate speed, the bait it wants to pull towards the surface. So you can actually fish this a little higher in the water column, kind of subsurface. You actually almost have to be careful not to reel too fast because it'll pop out of the water. The back hole is meant for a moderate, kind of a slower type presentation if you are going to cast and reel as a lipless crankbait. It's a little more touchy when it comes to tuning. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll actually just cast out and rip it up and let it fall, reel down. Rip it up, let it fall, reel down. But as far as tuning, just like in a past episode, you just bend the tail. If it wants to kick off to, the right, you just take and bend the tail. I'll show you here in the small cam. Just kind of bend the tail the opposite direction. But as far as wanting to really burn the lure and you don't want a lot of vibration, you don't want to worry about having to tune the lure, the best hole that you're going to want to choose from, the first two holes closest to the head, you're really grabbing that lure from the head, from the weight, and pulling it so it doesn't have as much issue with getting it tuned. It's got a very tight vibration, very good hole selection to use midsummer. We have found that less vibration during the summer months seem to be hooking more fish up. But I think that kind of covers it for the casting part of it. You know, cast it out over, you know, deep water, let it hit the bottom, pop it up. Oh, dead sticking too. That's another one we've been playing around with, is casting it out, letting it hit the bottom, and just popping it up, letting it sit. We'll tip them off with you know, scented products like Uncle Josh Meat, Berkeley Gulp, and other water soluble products. As far as trolling, the back holes, once again, if you're going to be trolling for walleye, all of our packaging has dive charts on it, along with on our website. The back hole, to be able to troll at 1.5 miles an hour, you're going to want to connect to that back hole, because you're going to have all that weight forward, and it's going to allow you to troll at much slower speeds to get your speeds down and maintain that vibration. For faster trolling, for anybody trolling for muskies, you know, the middle hole is a good hole. That's where all of our dive charts are based upon pulling the lure from the middle hole. And then if planer boards, my high lines, oftentimes what I like to do is connect actually to the back holes, because what it does is it maintains that vibration. A lot of times when your board's hitting the wind or the waves and your rods are bouncing, your lures, your outside planer board lures, are not going to move. They're going to just slightly pause for a slight second, a little more than your flat lines running straight behind the boat. So that'll maintain the vibration. And I run high lines on the outside, so I'll buzz them over weed tops, and with the lure naturally wanting to pull up, I'll short line them behind a planer board, and that seems to do a really good job of sucking the fish right out of the weeds with a pretty good vibration going. And then as far as trolling at high speeds, if you want to cover water really fast, this is a great lure. The musky size, like the 2.5, the 4 ounce, and the 8 ounce, to cover water really quickly. Connect to the front hole. We have literally trolled these things up to 15 miles an hour, mostly in our field testing for trolling saltwater wahoo and mahi and whatnot. Definitely need to troll if you're going to troll at faster speeds, like behind the, you know, like in the prop wash and whatnot. You got a lot of turbulence back there, so connect in your front holes and, you know, let her rip. Go 4 or 5 miles an hour, get her tuned in, and you certainly do not need to worry about getting this lure to blow out, because, like I said, we've been trolling them up to 15 miles an hour. Without any issues. I'm going to post a little video of that demo that I did last year, actually. As far as, let's see, one more point on the hole connections. These are identical lures, other than the tail. I just wanted to point out the holes can also be utilized to adjust to the sizes and the weights of different plastics. So these are both of these are 1 ounce lures. And if you see, I've got a pintail by Got Striper. This is our saltwater pintail, which is also a really good one, actually, up here for Rig and Wacky for the bass up here in Wisconsin. But then versus the Kalin's 3-inch tail, they're both of these snaps are connected into the same middle into the middle hole here. And if you see, one of them is being tipped a little further towards the head. Which one is it? It's the one that's got the lighter weight. So all of a sudden, if I wanted to get a little more vibration, if I'm like, geez, well, you know, this one with the pintail on it doesn't quite have the vibration that I want, because, you know, it doesn't have all that weight forward. All I'm going to do is adjust to the plastic by simply taking your snap and connecting it back one hole. Now you're going to have about the same vibration as you would with a smaller tail. So the holes also allow you to adapt to the different weighted plastic products on the market. So that's just one more reason why the Echotail is so versatile. Now getting on to let's see, the Outdoor news. MWC. Congratulations to Cameron Lewis and Scott Roloff jigging. They were jigging up in Sturgeon Bay for the MWC. That's how they won first place. More information can be found on outdoorsfirst.com, specifically walleyesfirst.com. They have videos and pictures of that event. And In fact, not only were they jigging, they were jigging blade baits up there. That was said in one of their videos during their reward ceremony. They did not say what type of blade bait that they were using, but with the AIM tournament coming up next weekend, I don't blame them. They don't want to let the cat out of the bag quite yet. But I think everybody's really interested to see what kind of blade bait they were using. It sounds like blade baits even out west have been utilized more and more, even during the summer months for the tournament anglers. But more outdoor news. Oh, we're a couple weeks late on this one, but this one's kind of entertaining. There was a bear attack out in California. I don't know if anybody was able to catch this news, but a 73-year-old California man punched a black bear in the face to save his dog's life. That is, I don't know why I think that's hilarious. This guy, his Chihuahua was getting attacked by a bear, and this guy, Carl Moore, he's an ex-Marine. He decided, he heard his dogs barking and whatnot, and heard some ruckus going on outside. So he went out there and threw his hands up in the air and tried screaming at him. And he said that wasn't working. So he ran outside and he punched the bear right in the nose. And his neighbor witnessed this, and he said that Carl punched the bear in the nose so hard that he corkscrewed his head. That's something else. I mean, this guy is quite brave. In an interview I'd seen, he's not afraid of anything. I think about I don't know, my grandpas. I can just imagine them going out. They're just the old guys. They're not afraid of anything like that, especially if they've been in the military. So he took matters into his own hands and saved his dog's life. But talking about bear hunting, I myself, I definitely would not be going out to punch a bear in the nose. I am going hunting this year. I did draw a tag for the state of Wisconsin. I'll be hunting with Jesse Qualley from Greenwater Walleye Service. And I'm gonna be on a bow hunt. I'm a little nervous, even with a weapon, let alone going out and punching one in the nose. But every now and then you hear about a bear climbing up a tree or whatnot. So I've never gone bear hunting before. I'm quite excited though. But I just thought that was kind of an entertaining piece of information about a 73-year-old guy going out and punching a bear right in the nose for attacking his dog. But at any rate, upcoming events, as I had mentioned, the AIM tournament coming up on May 17th up in Sturgeon Bay. So a lot of the guys fishing that the MWC tournament, they're going to have a little bit of an upper edge pre-fishing for that sucker, and look forward to seeing what the results are for that. Once again, you can find more tournament coverage information located on outdoorsfirst.com. If you're looking for walleye tournament coverage, walleyefirst.com. They've got videos, and go into their forums. They've got tournament results and all kinds of good information for you. Last week we had mentioned upcoming this Sunday is going to be the Take a Vet fishing on the Fox Lake chain. Great event. Once again, last year on the Madison chain, we had 130 veterans that signed up. Some of them decided that they wanted to sign up as fishing guides out of that 130 to take other vets fishing. Food and band. It's just such a overwhelming experience. If you know any veterans that would like to get involved to enjoy a day out fishing, to have a day given back to them to honor their service that they've done for our country. Please check out takeavetfishing.com. There's much more information located there with upcoming events, along with being able to sign up as either a guide or a volunteer, or as a vet. You can also sign up as a vet. We're also Take a Vet Fishing will also always looking for donations to help the organization grow and get the word out. So that covers our upcoming events for this week. Fishing and hunting reports. We're going to cover this week turkey hunting. This is I know we're kind of more geared towards the fishing end of broadcasting, but we will be incorporating a lot of hunting news as well, along with any outdoor news. This report comes from Pat Kelmerton from Wolfpack Adventures up in Sheboygan. The first 2 weeks of the season were pushed back a little bit, Pat was telling me, just because of the cooler temperatures. In the last week or so, the birds have been extremely aggressive. He's been using an Avian X decoy, and that thing's been attacked 5 times now by very aggressive turkeys. Last Saturday, they shot a tom weighing 21.5 ounces. 21.5 pounds. That would not be a very big turkey. It had an 11 and a quarter inch beard, and had spurs that were 7/8 and 5/16. If the temperatures remain cool, I was kind of looking at the forecast for this week. It does look like there is some cooler weather still hanging on. Pat projects that the turkey will be aggressive, maintaining to be aggressive, kind of on and off. But and speaking of turkeys, I don't know if anybody, I think it was last year. I'm trying to remember. Was it last year? There's a video of there was a turkey that somehow ended up, it was like within a city, ended up in the city and was attacking a FedEx driver. The guy was trying to deliver a package. It looks like it was whoever was shooting the film was inside of like a hospital setting, shooting down, and the turkey, you can very clearly see the turkey running around chasing this guy, and somehow there's a UPS truck and he got involved, and I don't know what the heck was going on. I don't know if they were coming or going, but this turkey wanted a piece of them, and it's quite entertaining. I'll post that video too if I can find it. Moving on to the Madison chain, this report comes from us at Vibrations Tackle. Had an opportunity to fish with a very close friend of mine, Mr. Mark Mickelson. Was a high school friend of mine. Mark and I have gone back a long way. Mark, I've learned a lot of hunting and fishing strategies from Mark. Very skillful outdoorsman. But we went out and fished Lake Wabisa and decided to fish some clear water during the low light hours right away in the morning. Once again, Wabisa is super gin clear still. I'm wondering maybe if the rain that we've had a little bit today and coming up will make that a little more dirtier. But for now, we decided to fish the clear water early in the morning, then head up to the north end where, if you're wondering where all the fish are and you haven't had a report yet, I mean, just go out there on the weekend at 9 o'clock in the morning. You'll see everybody stacked up on the north side. That's where we ended up. Fished a little shallower than everybody else. Started getting into white bass, some small pike, some crappie, a little bit of everything. Mark was casting a Rapala, I think like a scatter wrap with blue and orange, and then I was casting a half-ounce gold nugget Echotail tipped off with a 2-inch Kalin's grub tail. That purple popsicle tail is fantastic. One of my favorite colors. But that seemed to be working really well. Just casting and retrieving. I got a few video clips of that we'll post. But water temperature was basically in the low 60s. We decided to go over to Upper Mud Lake. The water is it's cleared up a little bit from last week. It's still pretty dirty though. I saw a lot of panfish being caught. I saw one guy have a muskie on, lost it. Super shallow water, like 2, 3, 4 feet of water. The guys were fishing. We had caught a few bass over there, super shallow, over a couple feet of water. Temperatures over there mid 60s, slightly warmer than Wabisa temperatures. Next report, Green Bay up on the Fox River. We had a customer submitted a picture of a walleye. It's a couple walleye that they've been catching up there on the Fox River in Green Bay on the Tommy Harris half-ounce Echotail in the spotted lemonade version. We'll get a couple pictures of that. So thank you very much, loyal customers, for posting to our Facebook page. And let's see, Ryan Rasmussen from Smokies on the Bay Tackle Shop. He's a guide up there. He says that the water temps have been in the mid 60s. Gold jigs have been working good if you're wanting to go out jigging. He's been trolling brighter colored crankbaits on dirty water over about the 12-foot range, maybe slightly shallower. A lot of good eaters. He hasn't been getting a lot of really big walleye, but a lot of nice eater size fish. Once again, on the custom brighter colored crankbaits, you can find those. By the way, Smokies on the Bay, if you've never been there, they're located on Irwin Avenue. They have an incredible shop full of custom crankbaits, both walleye, and muskie. They got guys like Tommy Harris. They're with his stuff up there. They got a couple personal custom painters that work for them and do a really nice job. So if you're wanting something a little different this season to present to walleye or muskie or whatever it might be for trolling or casting, check out Smokies on the Bay. They have a huge selection of custom crankbaits. Next report is on the Wisconsin River in central Wisconsin. This report comes from Jesse Qualley from Greenwater Walleye Service. Jesse says that the muskies are pretty much done spawning. A lot of them are being caught up shallow right now. The white bass are absolutely on fire still up there. You can pretty much cast a little bit of everything at them. The trolling bite for the walleye and the crappies is really started to pick up on the lake. Along with the catfish have been extremely aggressive on the last week or so up there. Southeastern Wisconsin, moving on to southeastern Wisconsin. This report comes from a fishing guide, Steve Everett. And he's been on Lake Delavan in a recent trip. He caught over 30 smallmouth fishing the flats in about 5 feet of water. He's been using 5-inch Yum Cincos along with casting. I believe he said he was casting cranks and whatnot in over about 8 feet of water and getting mixed bags of pike and bass as well on Lake Delavan. Also, if you're looking for more reports around southeastern Wisconsin, I would strongly recommend you to go to Dick Smith's Live Bait and Tackles website. They've got every week they post pretty much a report for the entire southeastern part of the state. So that'd be another really good place to check out before you head out this weekend. That pretty much covers our fishing report for this week. Let's see. Oh, getting back to our what we talked about, we had a homework assignment last week talking about the pelagic. I think I pronounced it last week. Pelagic is pronounced, I believe, pelagic. The pelagic fish. One of those things, ecotail, echotail, rapala. Pelagic, I don't know. But the pelagic fish here, and just stay with me here. I'm I'm going somewhere with this. I'm gonna take and read you the definition off of Wikipedia. The pelagic fish lives in the pelagic zone of the ocean or lake waters, being neither close to the bottom nor near the shore. So, where are we going with this? The pelagic, I don't know if any of you are familiar with Madison, a local Madison muskie fishing guide, also multi-species, Lee Tauken. He designed a crankbait to be utilized, I believe, mostly for trolling with the way that it's built. But the name of the crankbait is a pelagic crankbait. And I have got to tell you, that we're going to post pictures of this crankbait, this pelagic. This was one of the biggest. Taking a look at it right now. At the show season this year, the Milwaukee Madison Fishing Show, this was a huge hit. If you have not seen the pelagic, the finish that Lee does on these is, I have never in my entire life seen such a nice finish on a lure, on a custom lure. Let's see. Yeah, if you get a chance, go to Lee. If you're not friends with Lee Tauken on Facebook, get a hold of Lee Tauken on Facebook. He's got all of those pictures of the pelagic fish on Facebook. And what we're going to continue to do, we're going to try to get Lee in on an interview, maybe in the next episode or two. And in the meantime, we're going to keep this going. This is the kit that we're going to be giving away. All you got to do this week, we just want you to post some different species of pelagic fish to our blog, and that will give you an opportunity to win this little package that we're going to be giving away this year, or this week. I'm sorry. So, trying to think. It's a nice little Plano kit full of Echotails. But yeah, check out the pelagic fish from Lee Tauken. Like I said, the paint jobs, I can't even explain it to you. I'm going to post the pictures on our website, or I'm sorry, on the within this broadcast, just so that you can get kind of a first-hand experience of what I am talking about. Because if you didn't know, Lee hand paints these. He's like a taxidermist for musky lures. It's incredible. I mean, I don't even know how long it takes him to do this, but it's quite something else. But at any rate, that wraps up this week's episode. Please, if you haven't, like I had mentioned earlier, subscribe to our YouTube channel for these weekly broadcasts. When you subscribe to our YouTube channel, if you didn't know, what will happen is every time we launch or upload a new video, you will automatically be emailed with the notification that we have a new video up. Also, sign up for our newsletter. You can do that on our website, located at vibrationstackle.com. Along with interaction on our blog. And like I said, we're going to be giving away a lot of free prizes this year, and all you got to do is interact on the blog, on our blog at vibrationstackle.com, which can be found on our homepage. But that is it for now for episode 3 of Vibrations Tackle. Catch the Vibe Outdoors, and please, feel free to comment on, our little broadcast here. Anything I can do to improve to make your viewership more enjoyable. Good luck fishing this week if you get out. And hey, remember if the fish aren't biting, just try to relax a little.